Welcome back to Geometry Chapter 7, Section 5 in this book. But you don't have to have the book to learn about transformations. What is a transformation in geometry? It is taking a shape and moving it somewhere else. It has the same size and the same shape, we just move it. And we've talked about reflections, rotations, translations, and now we're going to talk about, well, what if you do more than one at a time? So the first one we're going to talk about is called the glide, and that's where you slide, then flip. Slide, then flip. Or you do a translation, then a reflection. I always think about, there used to be this old show called the Dick Van Dyke Show when it was probably, I saw it in reruns, it was probably before my time. But in it, this guy would come in home from work every day, and then he'd kind of like slide and fall over the ottoman. And it would go boom, boom, and it was just a lot of physical comedy because it was Dick Van Dyke, you know, from Mary Poppins. Step in time, step in time. All right, focus. Anyway, so we're going to talk about a kind of moving things around, a transformation called a glide. It slides then flips. A translation then reflection. Sliding is translation, flipping is reflection. Okay, and we're also going to talk about compositions, but we'll do that in a second. Both compositions and glide reflections are isometries, meaning everything we talked about in this chapter is the same size and shape. We're just moving it. Alright, so here is an example of a glide. We start with our blue one, that's our pre-image. We slide it to the red one, and then we're flipping it over line K to get the green one. So we slide and flip. Notice the order doesn't actually matter with the glide. If we had flipped first, then slid, we would have been in the same place. So it's a slide then flip or a flip then slide is a glide. That just sounds like some sort of cheer, doesn't it? Slide then flip then slide is a glide. All right, focus. I've been doing this all day, so I think I'm starting to get all squirrely. All right, so anyway, order doesn't matter. So here's another one. I started with the blue triangle. I slid it to the red triangle, then flipped it over the x-axis to get the green triangle. Remember, blue is first, red's in the middle, green's the final one. Okay, so these are multi-step ones. Compositions are two or more transformations. So a glide is a type of composition. All right, and remember, with the glide, order doesn't matter. If we flipped the blue one up first, then slid it down, we would still end up where the green one is. If we flipped, then slid, instead of slid, then flipped, it would still be on the place of the green triangle. But sometimes it does matter, not with glides, slide then flip, but this one, we're going to do rotation and reflection, and let's see if order matters. We start with the blue line. Then we're going to rotate it 90 degrees to the red line. Then we're going to flip it over the y-axis to the green line. So we did rotate, then reflection. Rotate, then flip. And that's where we ended up. Let's do it opposite. We start with the blue and we do the reflection first. We flip it over the y-axis and then we rotate it around counterclockwise, just like we did before, 90 degrees. It is completely in a different place, isn't it? Nowhere near the same. So with rotation and reflection, the order does matter. The order they tell you to do it in, you got to do it in, or you're going to end up in the wrong place. All right? So let's see if we can describe this one. Remember, we start at blue, then we go to red, then we go to green. What's going on here with, how did we get from blue to red? Did we slide it? No, because see, it angles down here and it angles down here. So that means this was a flip. Did we flip over the y-axis? No, it would have ended up right here. We actually are flipping over x equals 2. I need another color and I only got 4. Well, we'll just have to make do. We'll make it dotted line. Okay, so what it got flipped over was where the line x equals 2. So our first thing we did was we did a reflection over x equals 2. Then can you tell what we did? Did we flip it again? No. Did we slide it? No. We rotated it. Around this point, of 2, 0, imagine a string there, we rotated it around that point. And I think in the book we were supposed to do it 90 degrees, but that's a little more than 90 degrees. Looks like I rotated it more like 95 degrees. You can look at the picture in the book. I'm sure they did it perfect, being the book and all. All right, so that's it for this chapter. For this section. We have one more section left for this chapter. This is definitely our most colorful chapter we're going to do. It's our most artsy. I hope you enjoy it. Come back and we'll finish it up in the next video. Math is great.